During the 1980s and 90s, I was shoulder to shoulder with the Yanomami people fighting a massive epidemic like this one, started by a Brazilian government that lit illegal fires and were out to destroy the Yanomami people and take their land for gold, just as the situation is now. And the Amazonia Foundation, which I founded, got millions of dollars of pharmaceuticals that for 5 years we used, but we had very little success, less than 12% success. And what we found was with the chloroquine, even if the people appeared healthy for a week or so afterwards, after 10 days, the symptoms came back, and by the time we returned, they were usually dead. So these pharmaceuticals were not working. And then the plant Artemisia Annua was introduced. And with Artemisia, we had an 87% success rate with malaria. Plus, the amazing thing was that it also worked treating dengue fever, schizomoniasis, and many of the other diseases that were weakening the Yanomami. Now, I can't say that Artemisia can cure COVID-19. I'm not a scientist, but the Max Planck Institute and the Madagascar government and countries in Africa are now saying that it is working the very best for them. So this is an interesting point. But I'm not talking about the Western world. In the Amazon, where the situation really isn't that COVID is killing people, but the people are already weakened by malaria and dengue fever and such, that we have to tackle all these epidemics. And by the way, these epidemics kill millions of more people than COVID does, and they have been spreading north across the US border. So if we don't deal with the situation in the jungle where life force and viruses come out of, good and bad, we're gonna have a real problem on our hand with a storm of pandemics. And as we have seen, we are not at all prepared for that. So the key is to get it for all of us, to get it at the source. And what I propose is we set up a plan where we bring in lots of Artemisia and we bring in the seeds. So we're growing it, and these seeds can be given to all tribal people because it grows very easily. And we start treating with the Artemisia and clean up all the epidemics that are taking place with the people. And of course, the remote people have a different situation than the massive Amazon tribes that have lost their land to cattle ranches and soybeans and chemicals and pesticides. So they have a different problem, and we have to address everybody's problem individually. Those people who have been marginalized, they do need outside support and food and standard catastrophe relief. But the remote people have a different situation. So for the people that are living on the edge, let's say, we can do a situation where they also get cured by the Artemisium, but we do a protocol also, because they can't do social distancing in Wyoming, where you take, as I've spoken before, ginger and you put salt on it and let the salt draw out the antiviral in the ginger, and you suck on it. And this will kill a lot of the virus in the throat before it can ever replicate in the body, because as we've learned, that the key to fighting epidemics is clean up the mess really quick before it replicates, or you got a lot of problems to deal with later on. And this is the plan I'm putting forth, an actual protocol, not just going at it haphazardly and saying we can help, but an actual protocol that has already worked before, healing the tribes. And I feel that right now this is a time in history where the decision we make to go forward with something that has proven work, but it's out of the box, it's not classic pharmaceuticals, is the key to the survival of not only the tribes of the Amazon, but to all of us. Ninashkata Chili, the gods give to those who give to the gods.